All right, we in here, man. Welcome to the Friday Live from By the Hood. Folks is coming in, so give a couple minutes for the folks to come in. Let me cut these comments on so we can grab the comments from YouTube as well as Facebook as the folks continue to come in and support us, man. If you're watching this on the replay, this is our Friday show where we come in and share our thoughts and opinions and just build with the community at large, talk about what we got going on, see what they got going on, and try to have a great conversation. We're not gonna be on here all night or spend a bunch of time on here, but we will come in every Friday just to make sure that we sharing some of this energy and talk about some of these investments that we got going on, and also just what's up in the world of finance as it pertains to our folks, man. What's up, Core? How you good, brother?
Man, I'm living La Vida Loca, man. Every day above ground is a good day. I don't complain about shit because when you complain about things, you don't get nothing done, man.
I heard that, man. It's funny. I was talking to, well, obviously I don't be around folks no more, but I was on a call earlier. Asked the boss, said, man, how you doing? He was like, man, I'm doing better than Tupac because I'm still here. I said, okay, old head, like that's how we carrying it. That's what we doing right now. But that was his response, and I had the same reaction you did, man. So, so with that being said, though, man, listen, a lot's going on in the world of finance. A lot's happening in the community. We got a possible what they're saying, Pfizer vaccine is out there. So, shout to Pfizer. We got cats still fighting for the stimulus. We got the whales buying Bitcoin. We got IPO fever. Man, it's so much thing. It's so many things to talk about, and we're going to get into that, man. For the folks tuning in on YouTube as well as Facebook, please make sure you hit the like button. Please make sure you share this. Leave us some comments. Let us know what's going on in your life, and just build with us overall, man. But Cora, what was your week like in the markets, man? What did you do in the markets or the investment space this week?
Um, in the markets, I did the same thing I do every week. I find my basic accounts, and then I had plug covered calls. Them Jones got called away, but I made like 2 racks this week because I ran a plug. I ran 2 plug leaps on
Mm-hmm.
and I used those other plug calls as a hedge against them Jones. I ran them on I think Tuesday, and by Wednesday afternoon, them Jones is up 60% for me.
Okay.
So I just cashed out because plug ran crazy. It ran to like 29.50.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and as it was running up, I cashed one out, and then the other John just was kept running, so I cashed that one out too. So that's a good week for me on the cover call side, and I'm still just running one company, so I'm literally just running. As you see the plug, I'm literally running that one company as far as options is concerned.
But you're running, you're
Um,
running, you're running cover calls on those every week, right? That's what you're running.
yeah, but what I'm doing is I'm running leaps too. So anytime it rolls back, it runs back. I'll run a leap on it, right? And then I'll run the
Mm-hmm.
cover calls as a hedge against the leaps. So what I'll
Mm.
do is I'll run a naked cover call. I mean, I'll run a naked leap, and if the price rolls back, I don't care because the cover calls over the span of a year will cover the cost of whatever the leap is. And so I'm guaranteed I'm not going to lose no money that way unless it run back to zero. And if it
Let me
runs
ask
back
you
to
a
zero, I was
question.
going to lose my money anyway.
Let me ask you a question. When you run that cover call, so you're running a leap in a cover call. I've never tried this before, so I'm thinking this through as I talk to you. When you run a cover call, are the expiration dates on the coming Friday, or are you taking a little
I
bit
run
longer after?
weeklies. I run
Oh,
weeklies. So what I do is like the cover the leap on plug cost me like $1,000, and I ran
mm-hmm.
two of them, so it cost me 2 grand. And then so what I do is I had 200 shares of plug, and I ran cover calls on them, and I made like $190. So if you
Okay.
do that over the course of the John, even if the contract goes to zero, I won't lose any money. So
Hmm.
that's because what I do is I run cover calls against as a hedge against my stock running backwards. I don't run the cover calls as a way to make like a lot of money because
Okay.
what I
Now,
want is what I
well,
because that's what cover calls are for.
no, understood. Let me ask you this question though. So when you run the cover call, right? All right. So give me an example right now. So if what's plug trading for right now?
2670.
Okay, so when you run a cover call, you're running it at what? What's the strike price?
If I was to buy them at 2670 right now, I would run them at 27. I don't care if they get called away.
Okay, so you're running them it was just basically in the money. Um,
A little bit out the money. The first
just a
strike out the
little bit.
money.
First strike out the money. So you're buying them at 26.70. You run them at $27 on a call, which means your premium is probably a little bit higher than if you ran them further away.
Yeah, but
Okay.
which is why I run the leaps. Because if it runs past $27, let's say it runs to $35, I'll still collect the money all the way to $35 because I
Okay.
ran the leaps.
Now if it runs back, you get to keep your shares in the cover call, but do you still maintain those leaps?
Yes, because the leaps are there to protect against it running forward past $27. So if it
Oh,
runs backward,
no, that's actually a pretty interesting strategy. I think I see what you're saying. So your leaps have to be at least like what 2 years out, right? A year or two out, right?
I put them a year out.
A year out. Okay.
Yeah, but if they get to 40 or 50%, I cash them out and then I just reset them and run them again.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. That's an interesting strategy. I can see how that works. I gotta look into that. It takes a little bit of capital to do that, right? Because
Yeah, it's
you
it's
gotta.
it's, a cap, it's capital intensive. It costs me between 7 and 10 racks a week to do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you definitely gotta put up a little bit of bread to do that, man. So for the folks out there who tuning in from YouTube as well as Facebook, please hit the like button. Please leave us a comment. Let us know what's going on in your investment world. Tell us about any black owned business that you have. And just share your thoughts and opinions with us. My name is Jimmy. That's my partner Corey from By the Hood. And this is our Friday live. We come every Friday just to kind of like have a conversation with the community and talk about
So
what's going on.
this what's up. Yeah. So I took that fiat, you know, the I took that fiat and then I put that money into Ethereum. So the cash I grabbed out of plug this week, I I turned it into money. I put it in my other account and I turned it into Ethereum. So the money I made this week on plug didn't go, but normally I put it back in so that I can run it
Mm-hmm.
and make more money. But this week I was like, nah, we're gonna stay right here at this level. I made a couple grand. If I can make a couple grand a week off $10,000, I'll be good every damn week. It's not gonna happen that way because plug not gonna run crazy every week.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if like I said, if I make three, four, $5,000 a month doing this, I take that. I literally take that money and either put it back into another investment, as far as in the stock game, or I take it and put it in the crypto. And so that's what I did this week. I bought some Ethereum with that cake, and
Mm-hmm.
so I did my normal Bitcoin Ethereum buy, and I bought some coins too. So I'm waiting on my coins to get here so I can show them Jones off. I'm a stun on y'all hoes. Don't play with me. them coins, pretty.
Yo, shout out to everybody in By the Hood University. Like I was telling them today, like, yo, I'm gonna shed a tear. Like you see all these black folks sharing their medals, and that wasn't on my timeline before, man. Like it just wasn't. And I remember telling Corey, man, that was one of my goals is to be able to like go to the timeline and see other folks sharing their stuff, man.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah, and it's powerful to see other folks because someone mentioned in the group, like, man, that real money clanking together sounds good. So, um, yeah, shout out to the brother Jay Johnson and shout out to Antonio, man. They out here showing their stack of medals, and
Uh,
I think that's real amazing, man. And it's just good to
K,
see.
K, Kasia got hers too.
Yeah, she does. Tasia definitely got her. She put her AppMax bar out there. So everybody is having fun, building wealth, sharing. We share all sorts of tips and tricks about how to make money, is information in the stock market. I hope people are paying attention because Antonio and Jay just be like giving away money.
Yeah, they
Malik
do.
Malik was in there sharing about multifamily property purchases. The
Uh,
whole
Lance,
video
Lance,
university.
Lance, she put what's the name in the group too. She gonna show people how to get around on TOS. So
Yes,
this is
yes,
all, yeah. So this Saturday, so
yeah,
she gonna be showing people how to get around TOS. So you know what I
yeah.
mean. If you ain't gonna come check us out, definitely come check her out.
And
And
also, we got to make sure we can't just be talking acronyms. TOS is Think or Swim, which is part
oh
of the
damn, my fault.
TD Ameritrade platform, man. We got to make sure, so it's Think or Swim on TD Ameritrade. So And shout out to Lance because she's showing the folks how to get it. So it's a lot of value in there. I just want to say thank you to everybody and shout out to everybody who has supported and continues to support our intro to precious metals. At this point, it's probably like our number one course, and it's our newest course, which is crazy because it's on fire. The folks are loving it. The feedback has been amazing, and we are literally seeing. Because the thing about it is, everybody's not even on Facebook. The people that bought it, like I got text messages, IG posts of people like showing the fact that they're now investors in the precious metals, and they're adding that to their portfolio to go along with other things that we talk about and teach. Also tomorrow, make sure I'll bring this up later in this show, but tomorrow we're doing a free webinar for the community called Black Assets. It's myself, Corey, Malik Carter, Coach Carter, as well as Camille, who's going to talk about crypto, and we're going to have that tomorrow at 1 p.m. So make sure to take a look at our page and figure out how to get involved in that. A couple comments we got here. I don't even know what Karen was saying, but shout out to Norvell. Shout out to them. I guess they were tagging somebody. Didn't show up like that on us, but maybe they were tagging somebody. Don, what's up, family?
Yeah, what's going on?
Man. And Antonio told us, man, that real money sound different. Yes, it does sound different.
It sounds crazy when they clink together.
That thing clinked together. We was like, oh, that's hard. Like, yeah. So
that was hard as rock. I was like, damn.
Yeah. I'm like, that's a little different than what we let me see real quick. Let me pull this up. Let me see. So here's what I want to talk to you about because it's a couple stories out here. And the first thing I want to start is this though. So it was IPO fever this week. We had a bunch of I shouldn't say a bunch. We had two main ones that everybody was going crazy over. DoorDash and Airbnb, right? But I was reading an article and I thought this was interesting. It says more IPOs have doubled in their debuts this year than any year since the tech bubble. And a lot of folks are saying that it's all smoke and mirrors. It's not real. It won't last, and that people will get hurt because of this whole IPO mania. One thing I did recognize is that there's a lot of folks because of technology and also just because of COVID and being around that are taking a look at what's going on in finance. It's become easier to talk about and different platforms to share it on. I was on Snapchat. I'm one of the only folks that still go on Snapchat and post from time to time because you just never know who you'll reach. But folks was on Snapchat talking about the IPO, and I'm like, yo, this is absolutely insane. TikTok, Snapchat, so all these different platforms, which to me are nothing but channels at this point. That was a lot of the talk this week. But I was watching Jim Cramer was going off talking about that. It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. Yahoo Finance had that article, said that, that I just, talked about. This amount of IPOs haven't doubled since the actual tech bubble. And Antonio, I know Antonio's watching. I'd love to get his perspective on this as well. What do you think about this IPO fever? And what do you think about the two specific IPOs that everybody was going crazy over this week? What's your opinion?
Okay, the two IPOs that Jim is talking about is DoorDash and Airbnb. I think Airbnb has a chance, but I think that price that they at right now I would never touch it at that price. Like that price is just plain old fictional. I don't even know what to call it. Like it's just weird. And then the DoorDash one is even worse. Like the DoorDash one, like they don't have any kind of moat. Like they don't have technology. They don't have like they like Grubhub. Like Grubhub is the same thing as them. They got it's a whole nother company that does exactly the same thing that you did that already IPO'd. Like, so I don't understand where these valuations and these prices is coming from. They don't dominate the market share. I don't even like I guess, man, like, I can't tell people what to do. If people like it, I love it. But I don't want no more of it. I don't want to see no more people, none of my people get involved in that and get hurt, right? Because it's not worth the valuation. Like, and then what happens is, right? So with Airbnb, it was supposed to drop at $68, right? Which was high, right? Because it was supposed to, when they originally announced it, it was supposed to drop at between $40 and $60. It dropped at $68. And then by the time it got to the public, it was $144. So
Yeah.
it was double. It was more than double the price of what it IPO'd at 68. So if you put in an order at 68, by the time your order was ready to execute, it was $145. So, and I know people who bought it at that price. I'm not saying they're gonna lose their money because I can't lie. I can't tell you how this market gonna move. So
but
I'm
but
not even gonna get up here and grandstand and say they're gonna lose their money. But I'm
no,
gonna
you're
tell you
right.
like
You're
this:
right.
I kept my damn money in my pocket because there's nothing fundamentally sound or technically sound about buying those companies. They don't have any kind of anything that would put me like Airbnb has a better chance than DoorDash, right? Because Airbnb, um, they fill a void that DoorDash doesn't. But I
Understood.
wouldn't, I
There's no
wouldn't
moat.
touch.
There's no moat. But here's the thing, right?
Yeah,
So what's interesting to me is what you just said to me is true. Who like the market is so wild that you really can't even it's a lot of speculation. And as a matter of fact, someone said something in his comments. I want to get to that because it kind of goes to the point I was getting ready to make, but I want to make sure I show their comment first. Um, First off, Kahan said it's FOMO, and that's one of the great things. Well, I shouldn't say great things. FOMO will always be there. One of the things that makes you a great investor is when you're able to ignore that. And as someone who's been investing for multiple decades, I still deal with FOMO. It's always going to be there, but the discipline is what you have to have. Discipline is real important. I'm getting better at just being like, yo, FOH. Antonio says IPO doubles are due to all the new money hitting the market and FOMO. The same thing Kahan said, which is absolutely true. Shout out to Kahan for checking in, and shout out to Dwayne as well. Until the Tesla bubble breaks, it's free game. Quite honestly, that's the comment I wanted to get to. Right. So
oh man,
I'll be very transparent about this. I owned a bunch of Tesla a while ago, and it's actually in this is documented on my page. I had showed my Burke statement with Tesla like literally years ago. Um, I 5x my money and got out. Now, with that being said, when I got out, it was about $500 a share, and that was before the split. And I had multiple lots. Let's put it like this, right? I'll be very transparent. If I would have held on to those shares, the money I lost not holding on to those shares, it would have been in the 7 digits. Let's put it that way. But it's two ways to look at it, right? I could either be like, man, I missed out on an opportunity to have that money, or I can be like, look, I 5x my money. But here's why I got out of that. The metrics of the company, from everything I've studied and everything I know, the metrics told me they were overvalued, right? They were overvalued at where I sold it. But one thing I didn't know at the time or didn't understand is that Tesla was a church and not a car company. So so the church of Elon was going to run and continue to run and continue to run, but the metrics didn't tell me that. That's why I like your point that sometimes you just don't know because the metrics can say one thing. Like a lot of these companies that go on public aren't even making money. Like we live in a time now where like, yo, you try to build a following, you build a big enough business and a big enough a company, and you take it public, but you're not even making money. The days of like going on the market profitable are like, it's few and far between. Don says Airbnb has some staying power. DoorDash is ass. Don't wish money. I
yeah,
like the way he puts it.
I mean, he ain't lie.
Dwayne, with the other point, there are no metrics on which these companies are valued. Pure speculation, and that's what I'm saying. That's exactly the point I'm making. Don says easy trading, no commissions, no education, mixing greed, and you have double IPOs. I'm gonna get to that point real quick. Matter of fact, I'll talk about it now. What you just said and pull it back up, Antonio. I was having this exact conversation with someone, and they told me something that made me look at it a little bit different. They said that when you look at the GDP growth that the boomers were able to, I shouldn't say accomplish, but take advantage of, many of the newer generation don't see that happening, right? They see how fraudulent the system is. So for them, it's more like YOLO. I'm gonna get on Robinhood and go crazy because I'm not going to be able to have what the previous generations have because they're leaving me in a worse position. And his point he was trying to make is, well, not necessarily you, but the generation before you. This is all their fault. That the boomers, in a weird way, they're living
Put us in
longer.
position. Yeah, put us in a position to be in this mess.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and I was like, okay, that's one way to look at it because I was talking about the greed and the quote unquote Robin Hood traders as what they're deemed. Some of them don't even be on Robinhood, but that's just what they're deemed now. Yo, you're a Robinhood trader. But he said, yo, it's the boomers' fault. I said that's an interesting way to look at it. So Rich, Shout out to Rich for checking in with us, man. Um, so I'm glad I couldn't get my money to Robin Hood. So he actually couldn't get his bread there, and he's happy for that. Adrian, what's going on? How are you? Appreciate you checking in with us as always. So Dwayne says DoorDash and Airbnb were overpriced at their IPO price before the run up.
Yeah,
that,
yeah, they was
that's
goofy.
listen, it is what it is, man. People gambling in the market. Another point about this though, Don. Right? I remember when COVID started, right? And someone told me this, and they were being honest with you, right? It was a dude told me that, yo, I love the market now because sports is shut down. I can't get my DraftKings on, so I'm taking it to the markets. And I laughed, and he was dead serious. DraftKings is back, but people still in the market gambling though. Let's see, Antonio with another comment says that put on Airbnb, then so be it. You can't win them all. Yeah,
If you lose out
this is
on
true.
Airbnb, I mean, hey, and listen, Airbnb has at least a chance. Like people who bet on the DoorDash John, like you got balls of steel. I can't make myself do that. Like I was looking at it and I was trying hard to make myself do it. I couldn't even make myself do it. Like I was trying to force myself to go get some of that money, and I couldn't even force myself to go get none of it. I was like, hell no.
If I'm in position right now, and I'm one of these tech, all I need is a tech name or something of that nature. I would take advantage of this and just like, get rich real fast. That Elon Code out here drinking the red Kool-Aid, about to put their ass to bed. Um, that was a great point though. Until Tesla, that bubble burst is going to be crazy. This is like 1999 away. You don't play metrics, you play psychology, especially when trading. That's a great point. And I think that's kind of what Corey was saying too. When Corey said, yo, I can't even tell you what's going to happen because it's not based on metrics. This is all psychology at this point. Folks are,
Yeah,
you know, that FOMO was so crazy though. That FOMO was so crazy. The FOMO was made its way from the stock market to what's going on in crypto, right? Hold up. Dwayne has another point. I want to pull this up real quick for you, Corey. He says, because the business is fundamentally flawed. Talking about you saying you couldn't force yourself to buy it.
yeah, I couldn't
I'm
even
gonna be
make
honest with
myself
y'all though.
do
Even as a consumer, right? Using all those apps, using the Grubhub, the Ubers, the Door Dashes. I don't even think is the best at what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like
it. They
for that
not.
to happen, so I mean I shouldn't say good. They're not the best at what they do, considering you agree with me then.
Yeah, they trash. They're just
Yeah,
weird
so
and trashy.
Cork, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
sound
Can
like
you hear
I broke
me?
up a little bit. Yeah. Yo, so couple more comments. All right. Yeah, I can. I guess it was something you hit or whatever. Most of these companies are not investable. They are for trade. Let's see what else is up here. Adrian says, I mean, the price of DoorDash is about what you pay for the person with tip. In other words, nope. But listen, another thing I find interesting is right, um, the crypto space, and I know Rich can talk about this as well because Rich is one of these guys for the last several years who has been consistently talking about the power of crypto. But it's interesting to see the shift that's happening in crypto now, which is the title of this episode, like the whales in Bitcoin. Um, because, and I'm gonna pull this article up. And this would be an interesting article that I wanted to talk with you about this evening about the whales and their newfound love of Bitcoin. Some of them is not newfound. Some of them it is newfound, but all of it's not newfound.
Man, but
But their Bitcoin is
it
quite
started about
interesting as you see a huge shift with institutions getting involved in what's going on with Bitcoin.
yeah, it started right around when the crash started, like
Go ahead,
six,
Core.
8 months ago. It started like 6, 8 months ago when the crash happened, because basically what happened is they started to see they needed another way to make money, another exit strategy. So you talk about J.P. Morgan, and Grayscale was already there, and then Microvest, and then now you got BlackRock. So all of the big boys is getting involved, right? Mass Mutual, and then now you got the individual investors getting involved. Your Charlie Mungers, your old ass what's Nebraska dude.
Well, Charlie ain't in it yet. Charlie still ain't messing with it right now, dog.
He said 50 grand, right? He said when they get to 50 or something like
I
that.
don't think messing with it.
Whatever. There's a bunch of them
Yeah,
in
because
there though.
I don't think him and Buff is still a boy. What I was going to talk to you about, right? And Tyler Winklevoss, one of the Winklevi, uh, who
Wink, Winklevi.
they run Gemini. They don't for noise around it. He said the smartest people in the room are buying Bitcoin, but they're doing it quietly. So you have Paul Tudor Jones, who got involved in this, Stanley Druckenmiller, Jack Dorsey of Square, like you said, Mass Mutual, Guggenheim Partners. There's a bunch of names of big individuals as well as institutions getting in the space. I watched something the other day, and he made a point about how fast the dollar is falling, and he said, based upon the research, MicroStrat, what's the company that's buying all the Bitcoin? It's called Micro. Somebody in the
Microvest.
audience could tell me what the
I think it's
is. It's not
Microvest.
MicroVest. I don't think it's
Micro
MicroVest. It's Micro Strategies or Micro whatever it may be. The micro company. I know somebody in the chat will tell me which company it was, but nonetheless, I was watching a sit down with him, and he was sitting down with the founder of Binance, and he was talking about how fast the dollar is falling, especially after the first stimulus. And what he said was, according to his analytics, in order for you to just break even investing in the stock market, his analysis says you have to make at the minimum 15%. He says, so some people to as a hedge against inflation, we're just buying tech companies. They're buying FANG. Is MicroStrategy. Thank you, Rich.
Yeah.
They were buying FANG stocks. He says, but that doesn't even give you that 15% that he was looking for, which is why he went so heavy in terms of moving into Bitcoin, because he looks at it as being a safe haven asset, and he think it has the ability to increase. But he said so he had a bunch of money in bonds. He was like, yo, I have to, I'm not getting 15 money into Bitcoin. But what I find interesting about this, it was another conversation I was in, and it might have even been on Rich's page. It was on somebody's page, either Rich or Russ, because they're they talk about crypto a lot. And someone was saying that the sad part about this whole thing with Bitcoin is it looked like something for the people, right? And this could be a technology that can really be for the people. Kind of the thesis that Bitcoin Zay has with his book. And shout out to his book, Bitcoin and Black America. Yeah, because
but now
the second, we got the second one too. We got the first and the second one. But kind of his thesis that it could be the language of the people and the money for the.
You all right, Joe? You sound like you're breaking up, man.
I know we kind of want to delay right now, Cole, but we're gonna try our best. We're not gonna COINTELPRO get the best of us, but he said the sad part is now that. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It sounds like you are. So that's why I know it's COINTELPRO, man. It ain't just these signals, man. But let me know if you can hear me, Core, because what I was saying is it's just kind of it's kind of messed up because it's no longer about the people anymore. You got the getting in the whale, so to speak, and the banks are gobbling up big pace of. Actually, I read that they're gobbling up more than it's actually being mined on a daily basis. So, what does this mean in the long term for the regular retail investor, for our folks, for our community, as it is to happen? What do you see?
It means that if they don't get involved now, they're going to pay the tax. They're going to pay the fine, because what's going to happen is it's going to be the thing that that currency gets based on, and so you're going to have some of it to be able to move your currency around, and at that point they're going to get lost in the sauce. There's a literal transfer of wealth happening, and people who have Bitcoin are going to be part of that transfer of wealth, and people who have Ethereum and people who are in the crypto space are going to have some, and the people who are not in that space are going to miss out on that. And so at that point, then now you got to pay the you got to pay the ferry. You got to pay the cost to cross the ferry. So now whenever you want to get involved in it, at the point where you want to get involved, people already got the mass control of it. They're going to tax you to get involved. And so right now you got to get involved while you're not going to get taxed all heavy, because by the time you get involved, now you're going to be paying more for it than what it's really worth, and it's already going to be worth way more than you got. So get involved now. Get 1/10
Mm.
of a Bitcoin. Get $2,000 worth of Bitcoin right now. Like, you don't even need a whole one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, don't you don't even need a whole one. Get $2,000 worth of Bitcoin.
Shout out to
Start
our
putting
sister
it.
Courtney who told me we were having a conversation. She said, no, what I was saying is shout out to Courtney who corrected me. She said that there's not a transfer of wealth, there's a moving of wealth. She said because if you're transferring wealth, that means that it's going from one party to the other. What's going on now is they're just moving their wealth from one space to the next. So it's really no transfer because they're not letting us get, because basically they're blocking that transfer from happening. We gonna move it from here to here. So pull some of these comments up as Pro continues to mess with our show. And Rich brings up a good point that I want to put on here. But a couple more DoorDash comments before we get to what Rich said about our crypto talk. So boom, let's start with this one. I feel like there'll be plenty of companies. I feel like that lane will be too competitive for DoorDash to take a big share. Let's see what Dwayne has to say. When 60% of the population that's taking the vaccine and returns to in-restaurant eating, DoorDash is dead. All right. So Antonio, miss out on Airbnb, so be it. Okay, that's what he was saying earlier. Got you. Understood. Um, got Dwayne. Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan and friends downplayed crypto in 27. We're on the side looking in. When it crashed, those guys ran in like gangbusters and loaded up. It's like, yo, they're running the same play all the time, and it continues, to work. So, I mean, and Rich as well as Dwayne that gave me the name, which was MicroStrategy. This is the point I was trying to show that Rich made, and it's something too. I gotta go back and look, but he might be right, man. They mess with your mic every time you talk crypto. I think you might be right, Rich. I don't know. They don't like us talking crypto on here, man. That's the beat. That's probably Zuck's, Zuck's getting mad because he got his own coin, so he don't like that. That might be true, man. So it was never about the people. They were using the people to do the work as they always have. Absolutely insane, man. Hey, but the people could have took if people knew like you knew, then they could have took advantage of that. Bitcoin was was slaves. Like I didn't say slaves. Bitcoin was slaves thinking they were free because they were speaking the language of being a sharecropper. Ooh, let's see. In 2017, you guys will recall the bank started using Bitcoin ETFs, paper Bitcoin. This allowed them to manipulate the price of it and bring it down. This same thing was done with gold and silver in 2008, 2009, when those were taken off. Gold and silver ETFs started flooding in the market. Saints who don't know that when you buy that GLD, it's not associated with the gold price at all, which is interesting. I mean, the crazy part is I was looking at a couple of the gold products in the crypto space, and they're more aligned with actual gold price per ounce. Okay, yeah, that's what he said. And Don, right here, excellent point, Don, as always. All that hate on Bitcoin was a bluff, straight pump fake. And that's a very succinct way to put it. That yeah, it was all a pump fake, man. And but now what's interesting is you see the whales in, you see the whales gobbling it all up. And that's why I asked you, Cora, what are we going to do as a community, as a people, when you see this happening in front of you, when you see this movement of wealth into this space? Um, is it too late? I mean,
No,
what do you think about it? Is it too late at this point, or should you just try to grab as much as you can?
it's not too late. It's not. It's only too late when it's too late. It's not too late yet. Like it's all of the Bitcoin hasn't been gobbled up, so it's not too late. Get in while you can get in. Get in where you fit in. Get some right now. Take the money. Put your savings up, your fiat savings up, but take your money and get in the space. You know, Jim about to put out a shirt talking about get my money out of dirty fiat, and I agree. I agree 100%. Get my money out of dirty fiat. So that's what I'm done.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So listen, for the folks out there watching, please do me a favor. Please share this video, hit the like button. Let us know your opinion on the crypto space overall. For those, let us know, are you invested in crypto at all? Do you own crypto? And if you do own crypto, which one? I mean, I know Rich can't answer that question because Rich owns all the shit coins, man. He's going to have to fill up the whole comment section. I'm joking, Rich. But for everybody else, oh, Rich as well. Like, I don't know what your portfolio is looking like now, but let us know what cryptos are you into, and what do you think about the space overall? Is it the future? Give us your opinion. Please leave us those comments. So what I'll say is this, man. It's a lot of noise in that space, just like every other space. But at this point, it's noise. We just talked about DoorDash. We just talked about Airbnb. So you'll have the same thing going on here. I look at some of these coins that hit the market, and some of these
Trash.
joints are just straight garbage. They're straight garbage. I read the white papers and be like, yo, this is absolutely insane. This is trash. But they
Garbito.
found a way to kind of like build their audiences. Like I've had arguments with folks trying to sell me on their shitcoin, and they're giving me everything under the sun. I'm like, yo, dude, the jump been worth 3 cents for 3 years. Like, why are you still trying to sell me on it? And a lot of times what I find is they're trying to sell me because they're really talking to themselves. It's a lot of garbage in that space, just like it is on the market. I mean, just like it is on everything. Even when you get into precious metals, like all things aren't the same, which is why I put the course together, because all metals aren't the same, all rounds aren't the same, all coins aren't the same. But be careful when you get into this space. So one of the things I recognize, again, this is from just having, so we have conversation. I want to put this out there. Me and Corey have conversations with folks from our community pretty much 24/7 about the asset classes. So, I mean, it's good for me because it gives me like material for memes, but a lot of the thought patterns are kind of crazy. But we still try to help the folks. But what I'll say is this: one of the things that I hear when talking to people in our community is it costs too much. Bitcoin is almost $20,000. I'd rather buy XRP for argument's sake. I'd rather buy XRP because it's $1 versus paying 20,000 for a Bitcoin. And this is no shot at anybody who thinks XRP is the standard or whatever that whole meme is. That's your thing. That's your thing. I don't get into arguments about coins or tokens. I have my favorite. You guys know just by reading my name what my favorite is. Like I don't hide it at all. But understand the value proposition with each project. Make sure you read the white paper, because buying something just based on price is a terrible decision. I don't care what market, what asset class you're in. But buying it just for its price is absolutely insane. That's all I will say about that.
Especially when everything is
So
fractional.
let's go to the comments section. Exactly. There's no need. I'd rather have a fraction of a Bitcoin. Listen, I'd rather have $1 worth of Bitcoin than one XRP. That's just my personal opinion. And this is not investment advice. Is Bitcoin the first investment that regular folks had got in first before the institutional investors caught on? Probably
It
not.
might
I
not
would
be the
say
first.
T. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. It might not be the first, but it was the latest, and it was damn for sure young boys was out here stunting on Bitcoin dollars. I could have been stunting them. Like I tell you from the beginning, I used to play video games, and I was in the gaming community heavy. And they back then they were on the Bitcoin joint. They were like using them as tokens, and like because it was
Mm-hmm.
trading for like 1 cent, 5 cent, and they were using them as tokens when gaming was hot back in like 2012, 2011, 2012, and they were using them back then. So I can imagine some of them dudes with their net worth is like if they could find those bitcoins. And then we also had when the Bitcoin crashed when and then GOCX whatever that joint is when half the Bitcoin in circulation got stolen. So we got to remember that too. Like there was a time where half the
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin in circulation got stolen. So we gotta be real careful with that too.
All right, real quick, this comment from YouTube, back at it, PA. My favorite ish coin right now is Dia, the first open source oracle. Question, and maybe you can help me with this. I thought Chainlink was supposed to be like the oracle of the blockchain. What's the difference between Dia and Chainlink? That's from my personal knowledge because all the people that I know that love Link, that's what they love to scream. They love to say Link is the oracle of the blockchain. So but I penny stocks. People buy them because they're trying to flip 1K into 10K overnight. This is told folks that and they're like, yeah, I know. Now what am I can't argue with you at that point. If you tell me like I know that I'm buying trash, but I'm just trying to flip it real fast. I mean, I can't argue with you. Folks will treat their feet, Jordans, and abuse their investment money, shit coins and penny stocks. Ooh. This is true
Again,
though. He ain't lying.
whoa, whoa.
Crypto has a place in every portfolio. Have to determine a percentage. No one should be 100% in any market. Don, listen, you sound like me. That's part of my notes for the webinar tomorrow, man. With
Salute.
fractional investment, there's no need to be cheap.
Also very true.
Them shit coins be having fake development teams when you check their pages out. One had cartoon characters as their profile pics. Funny thing about that though, Rich, is most people won't even go check that out. And yes, it was Mount Gox. Where people lost their coins. Bitcoin is the Google of search engines. Remember all those other search engines like AskJeeves, Google killed them, and it's here to stay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting, right? It's the Google. Okay, I got you. I understand what you're saying. But listen though, yeah, somebody let me know what the differences between Dia and Chainlink, because that whole Oracle thing. I'm interested just to see. Back at it, PA. If you're still listening, let me know. Give me your perspective on that. But I wanted to have this conversation with you, Core, because there's a lot going on in the investment world. For those just watching, please do me a favor and hit the like button. Also, make sure you check out our page. You can check out at Buy the Hood on Instagram. Check out Buy the Hood on Facebook. We have a free webinar that we're giving tomorrow that you can register for. It's called Black Assets. I don't even know if I should be saying that on this live, right? Because let me tell you something about Facebook as well as Instagram. We were going to run an ad for our webinar. They told us that we couldn't because it had the term Black Assets. How crazy is that, man? Another thing I want to say is shout out to Styles P, legendary MC from the Locks, who wanted to help us out because he saw what we were doing in the community, loved our project, and gave us a shout out. Right, that shout out from Styles P. They told us we couldn't run an ad against that either because we use the term Black Wealth. That just goes to show you about having our own spaces and what could we do? We can't argue. It's their platform. What could we say? And I say that to say this. So make sure you check us out tomorrow because the reason we're calling it Black Assets because we're speaking to a specific demographic, a specific community, and we're talking about the asset classes that we think you should be aware of moving into 2021. That's real estate, the stock market, cryptocurrency, as well as precious metals. We're going to tell you why, give you guys our experience, and just try to share our knowledge with you. But yeah, man, that's some of the things that are going on within this space, man. The whales are coming in and grabbing everything, and is we talk about these quote unquote transfers of wealth, but also these shifts of wealth. And one of the conversations that started within our private group, which I found interesting, was all the folks that were getting hip to precious metals, and they're saying like, "Yo, I remember in my neighborhood, I would see the we buy gold, the we buy gold stuff, and people would go and rush and sell their gold for some money." And now that they understand the value of gold, they see why. Now that you understand what an ounce of gold is worth, now you know why you saw the we buy gold sign. You sold several ounces for a couple $100 when gold right now is damn near 2 grand an ounce. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about building wealth, but one of the things we have to focus on in our community is maintaining the wealth we do build. Stop losing granny's house, right? If granny leaves you a property, stop losing the property. If you have precious metals, stop selling them for pennies on a dollar. I read a story one time about someone with gold coins, and the coins had a face value of a certain amount, and they were selling them for the face value because they just didn't understand the asset that they had. So this is why we're going to have these conversations when it comes to cryptocurrency. One of the things that I'm noticing with the huge shift in cryptocurrency, because I'm studying this space on a daily basis, even though it's funny for me to study this space, because I'll be completely honest and transparent with the audience. I only have a handful of different coins because I don't believe in a lot of the shit coins. Um, Everybody knows my favorite is in my name, like I said, is no hiding. But I'm big on BTC. Um, and outside of those two, I think I got some Pax Gold because I wanted to own gold on the blockchain as well as one of the things I'm studying, and I have some DAI. That's pretty much it. Some Litecoin too that I've been holding on to. I don't even know why I got the Litecoin. Actually, I thought about selling the Litecoin and moving it all to ETH. I'm big on ETH. ETH is my thing. But one of the things I noticed about studying the space of cryptocurrency is reading all of these stories, specifically in 2020, of folks that have transitioned and their coins are just lost because they left no plan for their family. They didn't show them how to get into their wallet. They didn't let them know that they moved. I read a story about a guy who went all in. Listen to this story. I was on Telegram, right? I spent time on too many social apps, but it was a story about a guy who went all in on Ethereum back in like 2017. He cashed out like a 401k, went all in, and never told his family. So they know that he put his money in Ethereum, but they don't know where it is. They don't know where his ledger is, where the Ethereum is. They just know he cashed out his 401k and put it in there. So one of the things I want to bring up is as we talk about these spaces, make sure we preserve our wealth. When it comes to real estate, make sure we preserve these properties that we're buying. And a lot of us who are first generation wealth builders, we got to do the same thing, man. We got to let them know where's the deed, where's the paperwork, where's the lease, where are these things at? If you have metals, where are you hiding them at? Because a lot of folks I know that buy metals, a lot of times they don't keep them in their property. They put them in a safety deposit box, or they get a private vault, or sometimes, listen, again, this is spending time on social sites. There was a guy, his family actually found his stuff, but it took him a while. Boy had a safe bolted into his floor, and his family didn't even know about it. But they ended up finding it, to make a long story short. But point is, it didn't have to be that difficult. As we build assets in all of these classes, even with stocks, make sure our folks know how to get a hold of it. I want that to be something that you take from this conversation we're having this evening, because we will be talking about these asset classes tomorrow in the webinar. But one of the main things I want to focus on as we move into that webinar is, and it's just from my experience having these conversations every day, is one thing to build it, but make sure the next generation can take advantage of that. And I shared a video on our page today, our IG page, as well as our Instagram page, from a young lady who's a real estate investor out in the Midwest. She put up this powerful testimonial talking about how her great grandfather left the family $500,000, and by the next generation it was gone. So make sure you take a look at that. But Cora, what do you think about what I'm saying now in terms of, especially with crypto, making sure our folks are aware of where it's at, man, how to get it?
Man, I mean, if you build it and you die and nobody can get to it, then you didn't build shit. So I'm just keeping it Dougie, like, because nobody, if they can't get to it, then it wasn't for them. So my wife has the passwords and the keys to everything that I have, right? And so I put it on in my safety deposit box where I have my coins. She has the keys to that, and that has the information to my ledger, to my army pension, all the stuff that I got. So all of the info was in that safe deposit box with the coin. So she is one stop shopping. It's a it's paper in there. Uh I did a video of exactly what I want. I got my will in there. I got my all everything is in there. So I put everything together. Some people want to spread it out. If I go, I need my wife to be able to find it because I want my sons to be able to get it. So I don't really care about trying to hide stuff from her and all that. That's just silly. And then I'm trying to teach my 14-year-old what to do with all of this stuff because my wife, you know, she into a different kind of business. It's kind of and she an adult. I understand how hard it is to teach adults things, but if I teach my 10-year-old, my 14-year-old how to maneuver it, everything will go smooth. So
Nice.
so that's really what I'm trying to do. I got a 3-year-old too, but once he learn how to read, he gonna be part of the business too. So
Dope.
that's what we're working at.
Dope. We need our
So
own platform. Adrian, you ain't never lied.
so what's gonna happen is y'all probably gonna start seeing my son on these lives and stuff because he needs to see exactly what I do and how I do it. And he's 14. He'll be 14 on Kwanzaa, first day of Kwanzaa. So um you know my son is definitely out here getting it as far as knowledge. He was part of our Fatherhood ownership class, and so he already got a fast head start. He got a head start on the knowledge, and that's another
So
reason why we was doing those classes.
absolutely. So Dwayne says, break it down for the folks. There's 31 million bitcoins being made. Period. I thought it was 21 million.
Twenty
Well,
one.
huh?
It's 21 million.
21. Yeah, 21 million. It's like seven. Either listen, the point still stands though. There's 7 billion people in the world. Folks got to decide whether they want to be on the outside looking in, on the inside ready. That's a great point.
Hey, listen,
Even
yo, my mentor, one of my mentors, my first mentors in the game, told me. He said, "Price starts with supply and demand. The price action starts with supply and demand. Period. If there's no supply and there's demand, then the price is higher. And when there's a huge supply and there's no demand, then you got to bring the price down to meet the demand. And so that's really what it comes down to. Price action starts at supply and demand. That's where it
and
starts.
Antonio, this is a bar. This sounds like a T-shirt. It says, "We speak, we speak it today when the language of wealth is decades." I gotta get
Ooh,
that on Twitter. I gotta get that on
bars.
Twitter. Gotta quote Antonio Eubanks. That was hard, but it's true, right? So money is paper. Paper is limitless. The Manhattan for Trinkles is being run on folks every minute of the day. Paper doesn't have value except in the mind. That's one of the hardest things to get people to see is what is value. The
Yeah,
recovery word is everything. Rich, the
yeah,
recovery
it
word
is.
is you're absolutely right, but you got to make sure your folks know where to find those recovery words. Um, that's part of the problem. Leaving money without leaving knowledge is detrimental. True,
Yeah, it is.
true. Jose, what's up, good
You
brother? How
al-
you, man?
yeah, you
It's all
always
good,
welcome,
man.
Jose. Early or late, you made it. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it is 20. So it's 21 million, 7 billion people. That the point was still a good point
Yeah,
though.
it's still it's still
Dwayne,
valid.
because you think about that, 7 billion people. So everybody can't have one, right? Everybody can't have one, but that's why you got to stack as many sats as possible, man. And for those of y'all who are in Body University, it's my mission now to figure out like creative ways to stack sats in terms of cash back and all sorts of kind of craziness, man. Because you want to stack as many as possible. Just so if you understand exactly what Dwayne said, there's only going to be 21. 21. Like it sound like a 21 Savage. Only going to be 21, 21. But in 21, the 21 ad libs be having me dying. 21. But nah, I can't stop doing it. But stack as many sets as possible. Um, but yeah, make sure that if you get in the crypto space and you get deep in the crypto space, make sure you have this conversation with your loved ones about how to get it. Because when we talk about paper having value and how now value is being displayed in multiple ways, you got to get all that value. I can imagine having $1 million. You work your life, have multi-millions of dollars in crypto, and then it's like lost in cyberspace. I wonder how much crypto. I wonder if anybody did a study how much crypto is actually just out there lost. It's just like out in the wind somewhere.
Man, yo, listen, they couldn't even find all the crypto from Mount Gox. Like that was the whole thing about Mount Gox. They couldn't find the crypto. Like so people had crypto on there, it was stashed on the joint and they couldn't do nothing with it. Like and then they only repaid like a portion of their customers. They didn't even repay everybody they stuff. So it's just millions. It's millions of crypto. It's millions of Bitcoin out there. It's literally a couple million, probably a third of the supply. Is just out there lost. So that makes it even more valuable because now you got crypto nobody can get to.
Yo, shout out to
So
Dwayne, man, because you just gave me an idea for a meme. I think I'm gonna cook up once we done this show, man. But this is true, man. Like I just wonder like how much out there just like in the air and we don't even know what it is or where it is. Value is always perception. Today, oil is valuable. Tomorrow is water. Yeah, I saw some of them stories about water being put on the market.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of nuts. They say there's not enough for every millionaire to own a foreign coin. That right there should tell you something.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's berserk.
Here's another one for you. Thirst is what determines value.
On fact.
Great. thirst is what determines value. Yeah, man. I think that the funny thing is going to be like a Scooby-Doo episode. The big reveal when all the 21 get out there, 21, is when we found out that Satoshi Nakamoto is really the feds. That's going to be a big reveal. Once all 21 are minted, we're going to find out that the whole person that started this was the feds anyway. You know what I'm saying? As a way to maintain their wealth. And that's kind of a way to talk about. We've been getting played this whole time. That's going to be the big reveal. Yeah, man. So
reveal.
It's going to be the Scooby-Doo reveal. If not for you, what do you say? Mingling kids or whatever they say.
Meddling. If not for
meddling. Yeah, he's meddling. Yeah, man. But anyway, man. We're not gonna stand here all night. It's 8:00, man. Want to just check in with you guys, talk a little bit about cryptocurrency, talk about the IPOs, which are absolutely insane. Thank you guys for checking in with us as always. Please make sure you take a look at what we got going on tomorrow with this webinar. It's 1 p.m. It's online. We're not able to get out into the community as we usually do, so we're gonna do this webinar, and we're gonna make this a conference, the Black Assets Conference, man. We're gonna do this once a year, probably every December. It starts with just us four. We already got commitments for next year from some heavy hitters. Also, check out the podcast we just dropped, right? As a matter of fact, when we get off here, I got to share it on my page too. We dropped a podcast with a young brother named Quincy Williams. The game he was given about real estate was absolutely insane. My man,
yeah,
he's talking about his own real estate bank, and he gives away a lot of actionable items and tips and stuff that he uses. So check that out. The next episode we got dropping this upcoming Wednesday is just as powerful and is definitely one of my favorite interviews that we've ever done.
Not one of my favorite. It was my absolute favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that because I don't want to disrespect none of the people. We have some amazing guests.
No. We had some amazing people, but I enjoyed like 98% of the stuff that we did. And the other 2% was just me being a jerk. But the one we did this week was the energy was crazy. Like I enjoyed the energy.
That one was one of my favorites. And for those who don't know, we got an interview coming up next Wednesday with Hood Estates. If you're not familiar with their body of work, just go to @Hood Estates on any platform. They're in the real estate game. They're in the trucking. And we had both husband and wife. We had on Sandy as well as Packy. Listen, man, and the energy they share and their story, they live in a Netflix story. Let's just put it that way. Their story they share was amazing. It was probably, it was definitely one of my favorites that we've done. That's coming out this Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. The webinar is tomorrow. We just dropped the one with Quincy Williams, so we out here working, man. Intro to Precious Metals course is out there, is in the streets.
On Sunday we're gonna be on the Black Wealth Project.
Too.
Yeah, so on Sunday we're gonna be on the Black Wealth Project. We're gonna be bringing y'all more information. Yo, we really be out here giving away the game. Like,
Dog, we got so much stuff going on. I forget. We just before we got on this platform right here, I just got out of Clubhouse, or as we call it, a Chatty House. We got a Black Wealth Project group on Clubhouse. For those who are on the Clubhouse app, look up the Black Wealth Project. We had like a couple hundred folks in the room, and it was crazy just sharing their knowledge. We were building with like brothers and sisters from like all over the globe, the UK, Africa, talking about building black wealth. That was right before I got on here. And also look me up on a Clubhouse. I'm at JW the Blueprint, like I am on everything. And for those who trying to get in the Clubhouse, if you got an iPhone, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I got the hookup. You know what I'm saying?
holler
it's
if you
by
hear me, huh?
it's by invite only, but you know what I'm saying? You know, I know people that know people. So let's just put it that way. You know what I mean? So if you try and get on Clubhouse, holler at your boy, man. You know, and shout out to Cajon, man, because Cajon be in some crazy rooms, man. Cajon, I know you was me and Kamari was laughing at because I was like, yo, look at Cajon getting addicted. Cajon being some. I saw you in a room earlier with Mace. You know what I'm saying? Chopping it up. So
Mason Bester.
I gotta put this up here real quick before we get out of here, man. 20. I just want to say 21. I just want to do the 21 Savage ad lib. My bad. You know what I'm saying? But real quick though, this is a comment about our current podcast. Said that dude is killing the game. Knowledge is off the charts. That's the young boy
Yeah,
Quincy Williams,
man.
man. He's a beast. He's a beast
Yeah,
on our new
absolute.
podcast.
Yeah,
Make
he's
sure
an
you check
absolute
that
beast.
out, man. And Cajon, I'm getting addicted to. I told you when you signed up, Cajon. I said, "Yo, this is the most addictive social platform." I was looking at my phone today, right? So I'm like Kevin Gates, man. I got two phone, but I was looking at my iPhone today, and you know how the iPhone gives you it tells you how much time you're spending on multiple apps, and I do most things from my note, but not since Clubhouse, dog. I think I lost a day this week. I'm damn near at 24 hours on Clubhouse in the course of this week. I damn near lost a whole day, man. It's absolutely addictive, but you get to build with people from all walks of life. I'm learning stuff. I'm taking notes. So if anybody's trying to get over there in Clubhouse, please holler at me because I'm trying to get our folks. I'm only getting our folks in. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I got the hookup for the folks that are trying to get in. And check us out, man. Like I said, we got so much going on. We got the newest pod that dropped. We got the By the Hood merch. As you can see, Corey got the merch on right now, as do I. Which one you got on, Corey? Oh, Buy Future Income. I got the BTH Stacker one. They got the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the Eagles on there. So we got the merch. We got the merch popping off. We got the webinar tomorrow. Podcast out. Black Wealth Project Sunday. Next podcast is Powerful with Hood Estates. That's next Wednesday. Yeah, and and we doing some work with. Go ahead.
Yeah, we gonna be in the community. That's what I'm saying. We gonna be on the community tomorrow, man. So come join us. Like we really,
Yeah.
we was a street team before we really was on these internet streets. We was the way we on these internet streets. We was in the real street giving out this
Yeah.
information.
And the crazy
So
part is we getting back to that. Right? We can't be obviously in the street the way it was, but we do have some things signed up that we're doing for free with the schools. So we got a couple schools we're speaking to. That's coming up. So if you know anybody out there that has like any sort of program, nonprofit or a school that's looking to get any help in terms of just financial education or whatever it may be, please reach out to us because we still are trying to continue to do that work, although we can't physically be in the streets. And we have a couple of those things coming up. We have two schools we're speaking to starting in January. So if you know anybody else that needs that kind of service, please reach out to us. We don't charge when it comes to the community and the children. We don't charge at all. And it is what it is, man. So thank you guys for all the support because again, the support we're getting is crazy. Intro to Precious Metals is off the charts. Is our best selling course at this point, and it's just taking us places I never thought we'd be. So continue to support that, man, and we appreciate everything from all you guys. And we start off every show that way because it's absolutely it's true. It's not for us. It's not about money. It's about community and building with the community. So we like to have these conversations and we like to build spaces where we can come and talk together about these kind of things. And that's also what's impressive and also what was powerful to me about the precious metals is for those that are in our private group, you already know what it's like. Like you see everybody in there sharing their metals. That to me is insane. And I just got some in the night, so I'm about to hit y'all over the head real quick with some new fire. But with that being said, man, though, we're gonna get out of here. Check us out tomorrow. Make sure you follow myself and Corey on our personal pages as well. I'm at JW the Blueprint. Corey is at Above Average Savage. Hit us up. And we'll see y'all guys next Friday on this live. But we're giving y'all a whole platform in terms of what's going on in the week. And you can always find me in Chatty House. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.